blah, 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 right? Discovery, you want to get their outcome, their current state, future goal, motivation, how long they felt like this way for, and obviously dive deep. So like right when you hop on the call, okay, what specific outcome are you looking to achieve just to see if I can even help? Because obviously if someone just wants to come in the program for like an invalid reason, you have to just disqualify them. So hopefully it's a reason like, okay, I actually want to change my life. I actually want to make money. I actually want to do this, right? And their current state. So right after they tell you like their outcome in life and like what they actually want, when you start talking about their current state, they're going to get a little bit in their feelings, which is not a bad thing. Like sales, everyone knows that it is kind of pain. You're bringing up pain, and people want to call it manipulation, but manipulation is a neutral word. Like manipulation is not a bad thing. You can manipulate people into doing good things. And a lot of questions in here will make people like, I've been on sales calls so many times where someone's genuinely like, Hudson, like you just asked me a question I never even asked myself. And it makes them seem like, okay, they have to make a change now, because people always want to wait. They're like, no, I'll think about it. No, I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'll do it next week. Like, no, we are humans with endless potential. We need to make decisions and do things now, which is the whole point of the call. So the current state, they're going to tell you about like what they're doing for school, what they're doing for work, things along the lines of that nature. And obviously when they're telling you that, that's not the life they want to live realistically. And obviously you're going to get their future state and their actual goal as well. So like you're kind of going from bad to good to bad again, because you're like, holy shit, like I want 10K a month. I want this. I don't have it, right? So what's the biggest motivation behind the outcome? Like, why do you want the things that you want? And they're going to tell you, and they're going to be like, holy shit, like I have all these great things that I want money for, and I still haven't accomplished it yet. And typically it's sad because a lot of the times, like when you ask someone like how long they've wanted to like, whatever their goal is, XYZ, however long they've wanted that for, it's like a 3-4 year time gap. Like they have not like took action in years, which is sad. But what have they tried in the last time gap? So let's say they've tried nothing. Well, first off, you would ask like, okay, well, how long have you wanted to do this for? Blah, blah, blah. They're like, okay, like 4 years, right? So, okay, well, what have you tried inside of that 4 years, right? To get XYZ outcome. And they're like, okay, I've tried nothing. So for 4 years, you've tried nothing. This is when we split ways. If they say nothing, you take them on the why, right? Because they're like, okay, why has someone, especially a human that has all these goals, that was given a desire and had actually not getting the things that he wants? Like generally, if you're watching this video and you haven't tried anything, why? I want me to take you through the sales call and you like answer these questions for yourself. But look for an objection if they say nothing, which is obviously like, okay, I didn't have the time, which is obviously a smoke screen. That's not a real objection. Every single person has a time. We make time for things that are important to us. But let's say, for example, it's like they didn't have money. Obviously, at that point, like if they don't have money, because there's a mentorship at the end of the day. Like you're probably going to, I mean, maybe you're selling like fitness coaching, which is like different. But like if you're selling info, which is like selling people mentorship, selling people coaching programs, no matter what you're selling, like I was saying, like if it's like a mentorship or a coaching program, it's a win-win. Like obviously the business owner is making money, but you're also getting help. Like everyone wins in these type of things, right? So like if they don't have the money, then realistically, like it does take an investment, so they're not going to be able to join. But let's say they had a fear of failure for the last like 4 years. That is something that you have to pre-handle. Like you have to get down to why they feared failure and basically make it seem to them like that's also not real. Because why would you have a fear of failure if you actually want all these things out of your life? And I'm not going to go like in depth on like the script of how to pre-handle, because I don't want to give you all a script. This is just literally how a sales call works. But pre-handling objections is basically like handling every single thing that they possibly just call. For y'all, if you don't know sales, like this sounds foreign, you just call it excuses. Like they keep making excuses, so you have to pre-handle everything. And basically make them see like everything that they're saying is an excuse, and basically make them see a new perspective that fear of failure for the last 4 years is the reason they're on this call. Like it's the reason that they're talking to you and the reason they're seeking help, because the last 4 years they feared failure and it's done no good for them. So that's what you have to make them see. So let's say they said they did try a business model, right? Okay, well, did you see results? They're like, okay, no, I didn't. Then obviously you have to ask why they didn't see results. But if they said, yes, they did see results, obviously there's going to be a lot of people on these calls that have egos that are going to lie to you. That's just how humans work. They lie for whatever reason. But a lot of the time there might be some people that are like, oh yeah, I made like 30K a month from trading. And you can kind of just tell they're lying, because people that are on these calls are not on these calls for no reason. Like they're genuinely seeking help. They want a way out of their situation, which is the whole point of the call. That's what you were trying to get at. So, okay, are you still doing it? If no, why not? If yes, why are we here? Why are we here, right? Because that's the whole point of the call. Like, why are they here if they're making XYZ amount from a different business model, right? So let's say you said, have you tried, did you see any results? Like, let's say they said they tried trading. Did you see any results? They say no. Okay, well, why? Right? They could say, okay, they could blame the business model. They could say lack of time, lack of knowledge, resources, lack of commitment. Lack of knowledge and resources is great if they actually admit to it, because now they know that they have to get resourceful and they have to get knowledge from someone else, which would be a mentor, right? And obviously, like, you're making money from this, like, you're selling people on this stuff, but you are generally helping them change their life. That's the cool part about sales, which I was talking about way earlier in the video, right? So right here, you solve the objection and you pre-handle. Okay, well, why now? Like, why now is this actually important to you? Over the last 4 years, you had the fear of failure, you had this, you had this, you had XYZ. So why now? Are you actually committed, right? That's after you overcome the objection. And like, obviously at the end of objection handling, you're gonna be like, okay, well, you're actually committed now to becoming the person that can XYZ, blah, 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 right? Okay, well, why now? Why now is this important to you? So obviously that's after the time gap. Like, if it's a 4-year time gap, why now after 4 years, right? Do you want to get over the, let's say you pre-handle the commitment objection, right? Why do you want to get over that? Blah, blah, blah. Even though commitment isn't really like that's also kind of like a fake objection. I would say like fear of failure would sound better. Like, okay, why now do you actually want to get over the fear of failure? But that's, to me, every single objection is an excuse. Like, I don't believe anyone has an excuse for anything at all. But in their life, obviously, they have the excuse, right? So, like, my head is not the same as theirs because I've actually done things for my life and actually achieved things. I'm not shitting on anyone, but it's a lot different, right? So you kind of have to like go down to their level and like kind of like copy and paste like their brand on yours and kind of see it from their situation to where like you can help them more. But this is where you future pace, which is basically like, okay, well, what does our life look like after we get over the fear of failure? Let's say it's a fear of failure. What would your life look like after you get out of the fear of failure? Blah, blah, blah. What can we do then that we can't do now, right? They're going to tell you all these things. Oh, I could drive nice cars. I could visit cool places. I could do this. I could help my mom. I could do that, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So right here, when you're future pacing, you're making them see in their head, like, there's a different outcome of their life that they can be down in a year if they just get over that one simple objection, right? And we're doing all this so they don't throw us in objections when we actually pitch and we give them the price point, because obviously humans are going to react weird whenever you tell them a price. But if you're genuinely good at what you do and you make them see like, okay, this is the only way out, like, bro, you need help. If you haven't done anything for 4 years, then they're going to close. They're not going to give you an objection if you pre-handle all of this. But imagine like someone's talking about their whole situation, then you're asking them why now, all these things, and then you future pace them, right? Then they're like, holy shit, this is the way my life could look. Like, you make them see that the reason they are where they're at is, let's take fear of failure, for example, right? They're like, holy shit, my fear of failure has held me back from getting the nice cars, getting this, getting that. And you'd be surprised. People don't think this. So you're making them actually see a different perspective of life. So after the future pace, you go negative again because they're thinking positive. Like, oh, I'm actually the type of person that can have this, I can have that. Okay. How long have you felt like you aren't able to do blank, 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 whatever their answer was, right? Let's say they wanted to retire their mom for. Okay, well, how long have you felt like you weren't able to like retire mom, blah, blah, blah. So go negative. And then back to positive. Because that's kind of like, even with women and stuff, like you're playing, like it's hot and cold 24/7. It actually makes people like realize something in their head. But positive, okay. How would it feel after the 4 years of you not actually doing anything and you not getting over the fear of failure to actually get to the point to where you can blank, 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 whatever their goals are, to provide for your parents, let's say what it was, right? And you need to dig deep because a lot of people are going to be like, oh, my life's going to be good. Okay, well, good could mean a lot of things. So like, what does good specifically mean for you, right? And dig really deep. Like, you want their emotions here. Like, you want them to feel the emotions behind it. Like, you don't want these people just telling you, that you want them to feel it. Because if they're just telling you answers and they're not even truly thinking about it, you're not good at what you do realistically. And then next, after positive again, is consequence question. A consequence question, like the whole point of it is to make them see, like, if they do not get over this objection, what is going to happen? Is the next 6 months of their life going to look like the last 4 years have of them not doing anything, right? What does our life look like if we never get over, let's say, fear of failure, for example, and life goes on for another 4 years, right? Even though, like, I'd hope it wouldn't go on for another 4 years if it had already been 4 years, but you could say, like, 6 months. Like, generally, anyone that's watching this video, like, if you keep going down the same path that you're on, what is your life going to look like? Like, let's say, like, you watching this video, you're lost. You want to have a business model. You actually want to make money. You want to, let's just say, like, live an actual good life, right? Because a lot of people don't live good lives, right? Like, what happens? I'm going to ask you. Like, I want you watching this to answer this question, because just to show you how much this stuff works. Like, what happens if you watching this, your life goes on for another year like it has the last 3 years. What's going to happen? You're not going to get anything that you want out of life at all. So obviously you're going to dig deep. How would that actually make you feel? Why? Blah, 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 blah. Right. And I know it's already been 4 years. How much longer do you want this to go on for? And obviously, like, this is not like a copy and paste of what to say. Like, I'll be brutally honest, like, this is not a copy and paste what to say, because you're supposed to be having genuine conversations. Like, you're not following the script. This is not a script. This isn't even really a framework. Like, this kind of just shows like the order of things, but this is not a copy and paste wording to use. You're going to be having genuine conversations with people. So like, it's going to be a lot different. It's going to look a lot smoother. And obviously it ties to their situation. Like, every time I say XYZ, that's whatever answer they give, right? If any answer besides no longer, I want this done yesterday, I don't want any more, then obviously you're going to have to like keep going. Because let's say like they're like, okay, well, how much longer do you want this to go on for? And they give you another objection, be like, well, I mean, like, I have like school for another like 2 months, so I feel like after the 2 months, blah blah blah, bam, now you have to handle that again. That's another thing that you have to pre-handle that objection. Okay, so are you finally going to commit? Yes or no? And the next question would be, okay, do you want our team's help to hold you accountable to you and your goals? Yes or no? And obviously they're going to say yes. I don't think anyone on the call has ever said no. And this thing, I know we can definitely help. Like, you're not going to tell them, okay, I know I can definitely help. You're going to say word things in a different way. But FQ just means financially qualified. Because yes, it is a mentorship program. It is a coaching program that you're going to be selling. So people have to have money. Like, it's a win-win situation. You're going to have to financially qualify. Okay, how much capital do you have set aside to invest? Just see if I can even help, because blah, 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 blah. Even though they should be already I don't know people's processes, but they should be financially qualified already coming onto this call. Like, everyone that you're speaking to, like, already has money. Everyone that you're speaking to is already interested. That's why they're on the call. That's why it's so easy. Sales is so easy, right? You explain the business model because a lot of people are new. You'll probably be selling like biz ops and B2C and stuff. And then bam, you pitch. But you have to financially qualify before the pitch. Like, you have to make sure that you're not just going to pitch for no reason, because the pitch takes a while. And a pitch is basically like any offer that you're on. And all an offer is like, let's say someone like, y'all probably know like TGR. Let's say TGR Trading, like, he has a trading offer teaching people how to trade. Like, he would have a pitch for his trading offer for like his closers to like go over, okay, this is what's included here, blah, 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 screen share their screen and walk them through absolutely everything. But this is literally the format of how a sales call works. And yeah, all it is to actually make people see a different perspective out of their life, because a lot of people don't think these things. These questions that you're going to be asking these people, they've never thought this deep. Like I told y'all earlier, the people have been like, Hudson, I've never thought this like before ever. And then a month later, they come back and they thank me. Thank you. You changed my life. You saved me. Blah, 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 blah. All because of one 30 to 45-minute long call. That's pretty impactful. It feels amazing. But sales is super easy. Like, everything on here, it's obviously going to go longer than how I just explained it, because you're going to be having genuine conversations. Like, this is not just a script to go off of, but this is how easy it is to learn. Like, high ticket sales is by far the easiest business model. And I wanted to obviously come in here and explain what actually made me millions of dollars. Because everyone in my comments is always like, okay, like, you always are in nice villas. You're always in nice places, like talking, like giving like motivational type mindset content. But what did you actually do to make millions of dollars? And this is what it is. And obviously, like, I do things more in depth now than just closing. Like, I'm not just a closer anymore, but that's obviously how I started. I was a closer since I was 16 all the way to 20 years old. And yeah, this is literally the format that I've always followed. And obviously you're going to progress and progress and progress, but it's literally fairly as just as simple as this. But thank you, every single person, for watching. I wanted to actually give like an informative video. I love the content I do. Like, I love making mindset stuff, motivational stuff, but that is not going to take you that far. I always say like mindset is 90% of it. And then like this, like a business model is like 10% of it. But a lot of people have no business model at all. You might have a good mindset, but you don't have a business model. Like, come on, you need both. Like, they go hand in hand together. So thank you, every single person, for watching this video. I hope y'all got a lot of value from this. I might comment down below if y'all actually like these videos. You can also apply to work